Hi everyone, my name is Natalie Ledwell and this is The Inspiration Show. Today on the show I have a very good friend of mine, the amazing Zen DeBrucke. Hi Zen, how are you?
Hi, Natalie.
Great to have you
Super
here.
awesome to be here.
Yes, I'm so glad to have you here on the show. We're talking about your latest book, all about our inner guidance system and our inner GPS, which is very important that we know how to tap into this so that we can move through our life with flow and ease. And make all our life decisions so much easier. But before we get into that juicy conversation, what we might do is just start with your story and your background and how you got into doing this kind of work.
Okay, well, I found a book when I was 13 years old, 1983, called Illusions by Richard Bach. And what it taught me was that the world around me is reacting to me. It's a reflection of who I am. So that put me on a path for years of really playing with that. And manifestation became more of a spiritual practice for me. Something would show up and I'd go, ew, I don't want that. What am I doing to create that? Or I'd go, yay, I want more of that. And then later, about 1996, I ran across Esther and Jerry Hicks' work. And they talked about the internal guidance system. And for the first time in my life, a light bulb went off, that there was a separation. There was this new piece that I'd always been playing with, but now there was a name for it. So I went and I searched for a system, because I'm a system-based person from technology, to learn how to use that. And I couldn't find one. So I created one, which is what my new book is about. And from there, I actually built a multi-million-dollar tech company. I have gotten 2 books published, love of my life, had a baby at 43 on the first try, which is kind of crazy, I know, but it was like, surprised us at least. I've traveled the world and really been fulfilling my dreams using this amazing part of ourselves that every person is born with.
Yeah. So what exactly is our inner guidance system?
Well, it's, like I said, it's a factory installed system that comes with us when we're born, and it is a somatic system. And what somatic means is you can feel it. It's a physical body sensation, and it happens between the throat area and the upper solar plexus in our body. And there's a constant expansion and contraction that's happening, and it feels like worry, fear, anxiety, overwhelm, frustration. Whenever we feel these in our body, it's actually guidance is what I found, and it's only in relationship to what we are thinking. And that's a very powerful distinction, because a lot of times when we get a sick feeling in the pit of our stomach or a lump in our throat or our chest is tight, we have a tendency to think that somebody or something outside of us is creating that sensation. But to turn it around and realize that it's our thoughts and that those thoughts are not true and not going to happen, that's what the guidance means, gives you power in your life unlike anything I've ever experienced around choice. So it's a unique part of us that I think, honestly, is just barely being tapped. The surface is barely being scratched in our lifetime.
Yeah. So what you're saying is that when we're feeling, because the emotions that you just described are more what we would say are more negative emotions, but what you're saying that they're actually a gift. They're not really a bad thing.
Well, yeah, actually they're a sensation. So that is something that would be awesome to clarify, actually. Thank you.
Yeah, okay.
I found that our emotions are separate from our internal guidance system. You can have an unpleasant emotion and feel expanded in your body because what you're thinking is actually true. So like, for instance, I'm going to lose my job, and there's a deep sense of knowing. You just know it. Versus, I'm going to lose my job. I'm going to lose my job, right? That panic feeling is the tightening. That means you're not going to lose your job. If you feel open, that means you're going to lose your job. And you can have a pleasant emotional experience and have an untightening sensation, an unpleasant sensation from your IGS. This happens for people when we're dating the wrong person. Our emotions feel giddy and great, but there's something inside of us that doesn't feel right, that tight feeling, sick feeling in your stomach. When you're around them, it means that person's not necessarily right for you, the way you're thinking about them. So it's a good distinction to make.
Yeah, excellent. I'm glad we talked about that. So, all right, so we're talking about tapping into this, inner guidance system. Is this like a daily practice? Is there a way that we do this on a daily basis?
Yes, actually, you can learn to use it throughout your life as you're going about your life. Have you ever, I'll give you an example, have you ever had a thought and you go, your body does that feeling inside? I had this about 2 weeks ago when I thought, I haven't thought about my taxes, right? And I don't know what I'm going to owe. That feeling is your IGS giving you a super strong reaction, meaning that the thought that you just had, like, oh no, I'm not going to have enough for taxes, is not true. is not going to happen. You can have it like, I guess I've had it a couple times when I've been out and been boisterous, drinking on a great night with my friends, and the next morning I wake up and I think of something I said, and I go, oh no, and it's like, oh no, it's okay. So the key is that we're always thinking, so your IGS is always working, and it helps you to understand which thoughts you're having are BS and which ones are actually true, and you should be following. It's kind of like, it's giving us the hot-cold game, except with our life's purpose. Do you remember the hot-cold game when you were a kid?
Yeah.
Yeah.
Getting warmer, you're getting warmer. No, you're not. Yeah.
Yes, that's how our IGS works. It's opening and closing is what I call it, and lets us know when we're on our purpose or when we're deviating and moving off.
Okay. So I know that you, because you're like me, I like to break everything down into a system, into steps that make it really easy for people to follow and to understand. So, so what is the system that we have for identifying, you know, or tapping into this inner guidance system?
Great. So the first thing is because it's dealing with our minds are pretty crazy. There's all kinds of stuff. In fact, we could be thinking opposite ends of the spectrum about something. They're crazy. So you have to quiet the mind. And so I recommend a practice I call the listening practice, where you feel your feet and then your hands, and you listen to the room around you. And your mind has a tendency not to be able to dwell on parts of the body in multiples without quieting. So it calms you down. You'll notice that just sitting for a moment, feeling that it's a very meditative place. And then go ahead and just think the thoughts you were thinking and notice the sensation between here and here, the very first sensation. So let's say you're trying to decide whether you should leave your job or not, you know, start a new career. You can sit and imagine the career that you want to start in this listening practice and feel the sensations. If you feel an upwards expanding sensation, that means that path is a good one for you. If you feel kind of a tight, constricted feeling, that means that it's not time to do that. Doesn't mean that that's not a good career, it just means timing may be off. And if there's a neutral, that means you need to keep exploring using your imagination. So that's like the first basic step. In my new book, I offer 18 different ways to get in touch with this in different aspects of your life and the steps to do that. But that's a good, solid little practice that you can start doing right now.
Right, absolutely. So yeah, so how are we? So okay, because you know what you've just said is like, you know, asking those questions, going, you know, internally to do that. But I think the key to that is being quiet long enough to hear the answer.
Yeah, to feel the sensations.
Yes.
What happens actually, the more that you use it and practice it, doing the quieting and in your life, you'll be able to do it in the middle of a business meeting, in a fight with your teenager,
Right.
when you're driving down the road imagining how it's going to go with your family this weekend for Christmas. There's all kinds of ways that you'll be able to start using it all the time in your life. But at first, it's really important to just begin to notice that there's this thing that's happening, and it's variable, and it's moving on a constant basis throughout your day. So if you could just start off by noticing when you feel fear, stress, anxiety, or worry, the practice that I give people, the very first practice actually, is to say to yourself, I'm closed. That means what I'm thinking is not true or not going to happen. That will open you. You'll feel an ease to that because it's a true statement. And you'll notice that your thoughts begin to shift, can shift to this area of your body based on whether they're true or not. Just having that, your mind will begin to take off. That's how it started for me. And so, like, I didn't do this closed thought. I thought was, I'm feeling resistance. That means what I'm thinking is not the path. Now I say, you're closed. So just start off by getting to know that this is with you throughout your day and using that statement to open yourself back up so you can see that this is something you can shift.
Yeah. Because that's the thing, you know, the way that you're talking about now and the different applications, there's really no situation that you can apply this kind of a practice to, right?
Yeah, you can use it in every single situation that you have. That's what I love about it the most. I mean, it can, from things like fallacies you may have about yourself. I have a really quick story if you want to hear it about how I used it. Okay, good. So for years, my boyfriends would tell me that I was jealous, and it was a big thing. I mean, it's like, and I would actually eventually got to the place where I was telling them, yeah, I'm a very jealous person. I'm sorry. I'm working on it. You know, I know it's a pain in the butt, but you know, I'm sorry. Well, I worked on it for years. I read books, I took classes, I did hypnotherapy, all kinds of stuff. And then one day, and the thing was, I was always closed when I thought I'm insecure, it created this anxiety, this tightness. But I was following this and I didn't realize it. That's how crazy it was. All of a sudden, I was reading a book about insecurity, and I thought, I'm insecure. I'm not jealous. I got so excited, and I felt this opening. I can fix insecurity. I called my boyfriend, and I said at the time, and I said, honey, I'm not jealous. I'm insecure. And he said, really? Is this a trick question? I said, no. He's like, I got it. So, I know. So anyways, what ended up happening was I was able to work on my insecurity, and I got over it. But I couldn't get over jealousy because I wasn't jealous. But what happened was somebody, when I was a young teenager, told me I was jealous, and it got embedded in our mind. So one of the examples I use for people is, in the United States, what color is a yield sign? Do you know what color a yield sign is, Natalie? A driving yield?
Is it yellow or is it white and red?
It's yellow and black.
Yellow and black.
Yellow and black, what people say, right? But actually it is red and white. In 1974, they changed the law, and they made all the yellow and black ones red and white. However, in my courses, a majority, I'd say 90 to 95% of the people in the room will say yellow and black. It's still in their minds. Right. So in order to update that, you have to have a way to do that to the red and white sign. In fact, most people, if I don't show them a picture, don't believe that it's red and white. And we pass hundreds of thousands of them in a day. Well, your internal guidance system, IGS for short, this expansion and contraction, is giving you the yield signs that are off about, like, your self-worth, how much money you can make, your partner, what they're about, how much they love you, respect. I mean, we can go on and on about all the yield signs that we all have gotten that are not true for us. So this is a system that's given to us to update those, to make our life happier and healthier and more exciting, and to put us on our purpose.
Yeah, absolutely. And you know, and the only reason I said red and white is because I don't have that history. See, we don't have the yield signs in Australia. We have giveaway signs. So I had to really think, wait a second, have I seen a yield? If I've seen a yield, what does it look like? You know, and I actually had to resit the exam to get my driver's license again. So I'm like, wait, I know I saw it in there. So, but it's interesting. You have these programs, and they taint the way that we see everything. So what you're saying is that maybe there is someone that's watching the show right now who goes, okay, there is a part of my life that I'm not happy with. Is it all about just the quality of questions that you ask before when you go into this practice, and then the feeling that you get from it?
I would say it's really all about learning how to use this as you're going through your life, because those yield signs will pop up. And the thing is that what we think, energy attracts energy, right? So what we think creates our reality. That's why I believe it's a spiritual practice. And in seeing that yield sign, that feeling that tightening. So let's say, oh God, a perfect example. I think I know how to do everything better than my husband. It's not a good thing, but I went into the shop the other day, and
yeah, we all.
He was. I know. I'm like, he goes in there. He's in there, and he's organizing the shop, which is great. But I walk in to offer him lunch. His back is to me, and I see that he's doing something that, of course, I immediately think I know how to do better. And so I say to him, I start to say to him, honey, and the thought was there, why don't you? But before I could even say it, my IGS tightened, and I was like, ooh, don't say that. So he turned around, and I hadn't seen his face. He turned around, and he was super frustrated. He's like, what? And I was like, oh, do you want a sandwich? You know, nothing. Do you want a sandwich? I got myself out of probably ruining our Saturday afternoon with a big old blowout fight. But it's in the moment that your IGS is working, and it'll replace those yield signs with what is true for you over and over again. So it's really about walking through your life and being more aware of your thoughts, and then conscious that you have this guidance system helping you to think thoughts that are aligned for you, and that's going to get you farther. It'll get you out of your own box. And it's like you becoming your own guru. This practice becomes you becoming a master of you.
Yeah, because we all have everything we need inside of us. You know, just being able to have a practice of being able to be mindful of it and aware and tapped in is really what you're offering. That's why I'm so excited for this book to come out and your system and everything. So honey, if people want to connect with you, get the book, where can we send them to do that?
Okay, well, the book is coming out on May 11th, so depending on when you watch this, it'll be in bookstores or on Amazon, and if you come out earlier, you can pre-order it on Amazon. And then also, if you go to Zen in a Moment, ZENINA, ZenInAMoment.com, I have a video on the first page that you can watch, and it'll give you an experience of feeling your internal guidance system for yourself. So all this expansion, contraction, and everything that I've been talking about, this little 7-minute video will give you the experience. I'll walk you through the exercise so that you can go, oh, hey, this is happening inside of me too. So that's where I think the first step would be. And then the book has 18 practices that move you from the, oh my gosh, this is happening, to, as I was talking about, being able to walk through your life and go, ooh, I closed. What was that thought? Oh, that's not true. And move forward again, or I need to switch it. So the book is really a manual on how to use it, and it's called Your Inner GPS. Your Inner GPS. So I look forward to hearing from everybody and seeing their experience when they feel the video.
Yeah, me too, darling. Me too. Thank you so much for joining me, Zen. It's always a pleasure chatting to you, darling. So, guys, thank you. Now, I encourage you to share this video. You can do that by clicking the Facebook and the Twitter share buttons on this page. If you click on the banner to the side if you're watching this online, or the banner underneath if you're watching it on the app, it'll take you straight through to Zen's website from there. And make sure that you leave your email so we can send you the Manifesting with the Masters video e-course. So until next time, remember to live large, choose courageously, and love without limits. We'll see you soon.